good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time you guys are watching. This man's Marquis, aka Cevere, aka Cincerely Yours. And to my left, I have someone I've been like. It's funny because I was searching for. I want to set this up. I was searching for Massachusetts female rappers. I was like, yo, I need to find more. There's got to be more. I'm losing it. I'm going crazy. And I just went on a search and I found Hech Rhymes. Is it Hech Rhymes? Am I saying that right? Hech
Yeah.
Rhymes. No, Hech Rhymes. Welcome to the podcast first. Welcome to the THHC podcast, which stands for the Hip Hop Connoisseur Podcast. Welcome first. Thank you for coming on.
Thank
And
you.
I reviewed one of your projects prior to you coming on, and then I got in touch with you, and then we're reviewing um, Childhood Chex Mix. Can you introduce yourself and let the world know who Hech Rhymes is?
Sure. I'm Hech Rhymes from Cambridge, Massachusetts. And yeah, I'm an MC. I'm here to talk about my project. Couple of projects. I've put out a few.
You put out about 4 projects, right? This is the I guess the latest project you put out.
There's a couple of there's also the I don't know if you found this one on Bandcamp. You can get Duck Duck Dilla Doom. I can put
Okay.
you onto that too, where to find it. Yeah, it's just like it's like a bunch of industry beats from J Dilla and from MF Doom, who are two really important producers to me. And I just basically took some of their songs, their original beats, and I just did my thing on them.
Well, while we're on the subject, that was one of my questions.
Mhm.
Talk about Dilla, talk about MF Doom. Was this album that Childhood Chex Mix influenced by them two alone, or just like of course your childhood too, but was it influenced by those two producers and rappers?
Oh, for Childhood Chex Mix, that's actually from a local producer named Evil Doer. I was just explaining I have one more other project that I don't think you can't access it on Spotify because they're just on industry beats. But yeah, Childhood Chex Mix, to talk about that, is definitely it's one of my personal favorites of the projects I've done because it's all about childhood and my influences from childhood because I'm kind of a video game nerd, old school Nintendo nerd, um, kind of tomboyish in a way, I
Yeah.
suppose. And I was really into like He-Man and freaking Ninja Turtles, and that was like my favorite thing. Like Ninja Turtles were my favorite thing ever. Um, so yeah, when I got an opportunity to do like a childhood project, which was an idea that I had for a while, just like streaming all those concepts together, mixed with like modern day, kind of where I am now, I was super excited. And um, shout out to Evil Doer. He did all the beats for that project, and he's amazing. He's just an amazing producer, very well known locally. So
No,
yeah,
shout out to Evil Doer. Now, I did pick up that you have a project on Bandcamp. I did pick that up, and it was
yeah.
influenced by MF Doom and Dilla. I was just
Mhm.
saying, I was trying to bounce off that and say, wow, since we're talking about them, tell me
Oh,
their influence, period, and then tell me if they had an influence on this album that we're going to talk about. That's what I was saying. That was my question.
oh, I see it. Yeah, yeah. For production, maybe. I think
Not even production, maybe like just the rapping. Like, do you see yourself like I was introducing a lot of people to you, and they were saying she has a Rock Marcy MF Doom type of vibe. Do you get
that's a
that?
good compliment. Who said that? Did you say that? That's so nice of you.
I'm just saying I'm dishing your record out to certain people I know, and they're like,
Mhm.
oh, who's this? And
Mhm.
they're like, she got this type of vibe. Now,
Yeah, no,
I'm asking you, who do people compare you to? Like,
that's interesting. So, I don't know, but I definitely liked what you just said because I'm a big Rock Marciano fan. I'm a big huge MF Doom fan. If you didn't know, now you know. Um, I would say that yeah, like who do I rock with? Who are my people that I really like am into? Is that your question? Sorry, I
well,
lost the question for a second.
don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. What I was saying was, I think that the last question I asked was about, um, Oh yeah, MF Doom. Yeah, like the influence of MF Doom and Jay Dilla, and and how much they mean to you, and how they influence you on whatever any project. Not just the project on Bandcamp, but just in
There
life.
well, I'll just say I have a lot of when I first started doing hip hop, the
Mm,
type of hip hop that I was really, really into was jazz influenced,
mm,
big time. And obviously, like the samples from MF Doom very much speak to me because I don't know, maybe it's because I have like an art school brain. I went to art school. I'm very like was very collage oriented when I did that. I did a lot of mixed media pieces where, I'd have like a collage, like I'd do like a painting with acrylic and then I'd overlap it. That's how my brain thinks. And that's
mm,
how I would say I personally feel when I think of like MF Doom, the cadence, the way he rhymes, the way he chooses his wordplay, the way he chooses certain um kind of interesting things. Like he's very interesting with his choices, his word choices. That kind of stuff I'm really into. I would say if you're talking about someone like Rock Marciano too, I'm sorry, you touched base on him before a
yeah.
moment ago. Um, definitely like that kind of just like I said, interesting wordplay, different choices for saying the same thing. And when I personally try to write and sit down and write, I'm sorry if I'm going off the question.
You good.
I'm on it right now.
It's
I
a
think
conversation. I said that in the green room.
right. I think that for the most part, that's kind of like I said, like how I do things and like how I think. I'm very like I try to always pick a if there's 8 different ways to say the same thing, I'm trying to pick the most interesting and I don't know. I just that's how I relate to at least to those artists. In terms of back to the Dilla and the MF Doom thing, all the way like when I first started doing hip hop, I started as a jazz singer first.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I used to like perform a lot at Riles Jazz Club in Cambridge. Rest in peace, Riles, because that place was just like the best. Yeah, just I was influenced by those kind of sounds, and I will say that like since then, like I don't know, my influences for hip hop are far reaching.
Mm,
It isn't just always like jazzy producer kind of things going on. And I it's funny because when I first started doing hip hop also, a lot of people would send me beats that were always jazz samples, and I love that stuff. Absolutely do. But I have to be honest, after a while, like I did want to kind of like, push the boundaries a little bit and do different things
of
because I
course.
listen to a lot of different hip hop. So, but I'm not for all the people that sent me those great beats, thank you so much. I just all day, every day, eventually you evolve and you change and you want to go in different directions. Sometimes you want to do things that are more wavy. Sometimes you want to do things a little more grimy. And that's just kind of my hip hop evolution, I guess.
That's what's up. We're gonna continue on with the show. We got a portion of the show. You're gonna be my co-host if you don't mind. It's called
So,
this is called Rewind. So like it's not Friday, it's Thursday. This is a special episode, I try to cater to the artist if I can, because it's
yeah,
best to break down the music with the artist if I can get them instead of being by myself and breaking down music like I usually do. But I don't mind that either. I love it. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah.
so usually on Fridays is releases. Like it's Thursday, so there wasn't that many releases. So the releases that I did see, I did go listen to them, and then I did want to shout them out on this show, and then just introduce you to them, and maybe of these people. Number one is Taj Malik and Low Katana. It's an
Mhm.
EP it's called Red Jacket. Taj Malik is the rapper, and Low Katana is the producer. It's called Red Jackets. It's a dope EP. Does it get the rewind? It does. It does. It does for me. You may not have heard of these artists because they're fairly new. Most of the artists I probably do promote are new or ones that are undiscovered. Um, and so you don't have to comment on number one. Number two is Tree Mason and Spanish Ran. Spanish Ran might be somebody you may know. He's a producer in the underground, heavyweight producer. Tree Mason's been in underground for a while.
Mhm.
Um, uh, Corduroy Collar Crime is the album. Does it get the rewind? It does, man. Y'all go check it out, man. Support these people, man. I'm not sure. Do you know who Spanish Ran is, at least? That producer? No? Never heard of Spanish Ran?
Possibly.
You don't have to. You don't have to. You know, it's no pressure. Number 3 is these are two producers, actually. You know, these producers are actually kind of bringing it back to the 90s in a sense. They're kind of like joining forces and doing beat tapes or instrumental albums. Jazzy Lion and Skip the Kid. It's called Left Field Lion and Setup Man Skip. Just, you know, music to listen to. You know, you remember beat tapes and instrumental tapes, right? It gets the rewind, man. So it's not Friday, it's Thursday, but so it's only 3 albums today. So y'all you know, Friday, hopefully you know, good luck to all the albums that come out tomorrow. But yeah, do you listen to new music on Friday? Releases usually?
If they're coming through my Spotify feed, yes, or if I'm anticipating somebody, of course.
Okay. Just one other thing I'm gonna do before we get to the album, break it down, is
Yeah, like music.
That's fact checking news, man. It's just fact checking news. Basically, I want to say some happy birthdays to people. You know, we got Lady Gaga, Reba McEntire, Vince Vaughn, Reba, Derek Carr, Cheryl Salt James, which is Salt and Pepper. And whoever else's birthday today is, man. So any of those names, you know,
happy birthday.
Happy birthday to all the people, man. There's some good albums that came out, was released on this day as well. You know, of course, all these albums get the rewind. I don't even have to press the button. But the first one, the anniversary is Ghostface Killer, Fish Scale. It's his 18th anniversary. What you think about Ghostface? You like Ghostface?
I'm a very big Ghostface fan. I like him.
How much of a fan are you, man? I'm a Ghostface fan too.
Strong, we'll say that.
Okay.
I'm a fan.
Okay. We got Relentless Music in the chat. That new Rock Marcy album coming out tomorrow.
Whoa.
You know what's funny?
Shout out to Relentless, yo. He's produced a bunch of my stuff. He's amazing.
Relentless. I'm gonna tell you something. I was just listening to it. It's on YouTube. It's leaked. They leaked it. Somebody leaked it. I was listening to the Rock Marcy tonight just before I came on here. So I'm just gonna say they might take it down. You better go check it out. I mean, not yet. Stay on here to watch this. Welcome to the THHC podcast. And this is Ben. Ben, this is my co-host. This is Ben Frank, man. This is my co-host from the sidelines. Ben Frank, he comes through and he's the main fact checker when he comes through, and he just blesses the podcast with good energy. So shout out to Ben Frank. But yeah, what else came out? I was saying, Ghostface Killer, he's my favorite Wu-Tang member. That's all I gotta say.
He might be mine also.
That's all I gotta say. Common, like water for chocolate, 24th anniversary. What do you think about Common?
Oh, Common is like amazing.
Yeah, Common's amazing. I love Common. Common, of course, Common gets to be wine all day. Woo Forever, of course. Come on, Ben. Man, stop playing around, man. Pink Floyd, the Division Bell is the 30th anniversary, man. Shout out to Pink Floyd. You listen to Pink Floyd?
Who knew? I think my parents liked them growing up a little bit. I definitely have listened to the albums through and such. Yeah, not bad. I mean, it's not as much my vibe, but it's pretty good. I don't want to like have everyone hating on me because I'm dissing a classic, because Dark Side of the Moon was a big deal for a lot of people's parents, but yeah, why not?
Yeah, I don't know about this album. I don't remember the Division Bell being that, I guess, ringing off. I don't want to play off the words, but anyway, Old Dirty Bastard 30 Return to the 36th Chamber was 29th anniversary. What do you think about ODB? Speaking of Wu-Tang, another Wu-Tang.
It goes without saying. It goes without saying. Oh, that's some classic shit. That's some classic stuff. Sorry, I'm not sure if I'm not allowed to swear.
No, you can. And we waiting
In
for
that case,
Common. I know, motherfucker. That's a minute. Yeah, and we waiting for that Common and Pete Rock album later this year. Yeah, I heard about it. I can't wait for that. Facts. Love Pink Floyd. Yeah, man, me too. I'm into them. I did the album. What's the one with the light going through? I did that album. Is that Pink Floyd? Which one was? Oh, what's the one with the light going through? We'll do the triangle.
Is that Dark Side of the
That's
Moon?
the Dark Side. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
You know, to be honest with you, I didn't.
Good album.
It's good. No, it's good. I just grew up on like soul music. My mom was just. We had to listen to. I think it wasn't really a rock household for me. And I think you can listen to lots of different things, but like I had to listen like every day to the same. My mom's Anita Baker album, and we had to listen to Johnny Mathis and Lionel Richie, and like Donny Hathaway was just every single.
You got it's the people with the voices, the people that can actually sing. That you was listening to those people. Yeah, exactly.
Yes, I was very blessed to have.
Everybody
mom that knew what real good music was.
The Wall. That's what it was called. That's why he's in it. That's why I told you he's a cold. So after Pink Floyd, Old Dirty Bastard, we talk about them. The next one that was that came out this year, I don't think I put a number to it, but Big L, Lifestyles Over the Poor and Dangerous. Shout out to Big L, rest in peace. And then Dana Dane, rolling with Dana Dane. Another great album, classic back in the day. King T, West Coast, man, for life. King T for life. But just great albums, great pieces of work that I want to highlight. And before we highlight your joint, and that's what we're about to do right now. So get your jitters out. We're about to break down your album and get into it, man. THHC podcast episode 189. I know I'm gonna mess with the name. I keep my head.
H. Like think like this, like H. There you go. Like you're saying hey.
Like hate. But it's like I'm about to say hate. H.
Yeah.
H rhymes. Okay, so okay. Right. I got it in my head now. H rhymes now because I'm thinking of something different. Okay, so H rhymes, childhood Chex mix. I got the songs going below. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go song for song, tit for tat. We'll talk about it, each record, and we'll just get to a conversation. All right. So childhood Chex mix came out October 16, 2020, right? Is that correct? You are from Cambridge, Mass, right?
I am.
Right. So we're not going too far. Usually when I start a review, I always say I'm from Boston. I'm going to New York. I'm going to California to go visit this artist, but I'm going to Cambridge. I'm not going too far. I know Cambridge, right?
No.
This album is about 17 minutes and 19 seconds. Let's start off with number one is Rotary Phones. This is a fun record and project. Song brings back memories to me, myself. The beat is soulful with the head knot factor. In the beginning, you got the familiar broadcast, blessing the beginning of the track. And it takes you back to the days of old. It's a great setup for Miss Rhymes to, flashback her, into her days of her raps and talk about back in the days when I was a teenager. So let's talk about number one, Rotary Phones, man. Let's talk about, you said this is your favorite album. Talk about the title, talk about the first record as well, if you don't mind.
Sure. Yeah. So the first of all, childhood Chex mix, I think I started to say before, was definitely like a big deal for me because I'm just a childhood nostalgia junkie. We'll call me a nostalgia junkie. And yeah, I just wanted a place to put some of these memories that I had. And a lot of my influences, just like every kid growing up in the late 80s, early 90s, was TV. TV was a big thing. And, my favorite after school shows and all that fun stuff. I wanted to incorporate that into a project. And when I heard, I got the beats from Evildoer with the go ahead to, do my work on them. They were just certain songs that right off the rip, I was like, that would be perfect for a childhood project. So the intro track, again, Rotary Phones. If you notice in the beginning, like it's kind of got this like feel like you're in like a time a time capsule, well, not a time capsule, like a time machine, and you're kind of listening to the samples, and it's going through like old commercials from back in the day and like old cartoon references from Ninja Turtles and Mr. Fred Rogers, Mr. Rogers, and I was just like so excited to just slap those samples in. All of them were handpicked. And I definitely like wanted you to get the feel that you were going from a time warp from that time of my childhood into right before I start the verse. And yeah, I'm talking about growing up on Harvard Street in Cambridge, which is, the street that I grew up on, and just kind of the stuff that I, dealt with at in around the area in my crib, and just talking with my uncle, and just it was just good times. It was just kind of like going over the good times that I remember and how the position of being a kid. And that's how the whole kind of rest of the album progresses, is it's the perspective of me as a kid.
Kind of like a compact visual audio diary of your childhood in a sense.
100%, yes.
Yeah. Welcome Black Soul to the THHC podcast. Sup, homies? It's your boy. What's good? What's going on?
What's up?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is goated.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Let's do. All right, so let's talk about number 2. Where's Chico? I want to know too what's going on with this dude, man.
Chico.
So on this song, I say she doesn't need Primo, but she is looking for Chico on the unorthodox rap track. Raps could be influenced by MF Doom to a certain extent. Interesting flow and mashup of the record, and it got me thinking, who's Chico? Where's Chico? And I'm about to look for him in the daytime with a flashlight. So what's number 2? Where's
He's
Chico?
a great guy.
Talk about it. What'd you say?
He's a great guy.
He's a great guy. So is it a real person? Is it somebody named Chico?
Yeah, for real. So when I was like a toddler, my dad was friends with this. I don't know if anyone locally knows this gas station. It's the Sunoco going towards Belmont and Watertown. You like basically if you're crossing over from Cambridge. And anyways, long story short, growing up, my dad used to always stop at this Sunoco, and his friend Chico worked there. And it was just like kind of like a thing that always would happen like once or twice a week. And we'd just spend like a couple hours there. I don't know how you do that at a gas station, but he was just a super nice guy, and he was always really excited to see me. Older gentleman, and he had these 2 daughters that were twins, and I think I referenced it in the song too. Something about pink lipstick. He had these twin daughters that were like probably presumably in their 30s at the time, and they just put on this really bright Chanel lipstick. It was like super pink, and so I'm kind of giving you the visual of that whole situation. And I think the meat of the song is, it's like I'm saying, where's Chico? Like, where did he go? And I'm saying that where's my, like, he was the relic from my childhood. Like I remember the smell of the gasoline and hanging out at that shop, and it was, I always had a great time. I always felt very welcome, which is, like when we all go through shit when we're kids, like sometimes some situations are not as welcoming. Some kids aren't very welcoming. Sometimes it's adults. But in this particular moment, I always felt very welcome by him. And I was like really into the, I got excited to go to the Sunoco to go to see Chico. So it's when he disappeared, it's like, how it is. We all move on and we get older in our life. And maybe there's someone from our, right, where's Chico? Maybe someone, you just don't see them anymore.
Yeah.
Because you grew up, you moved on. You don't know where they live anymore. They're not at the gas, whatever. And so I think that's what I'm kind of delving into, is like, I'm kind of going through this mashup of different things going on in childhood. And at the same time, I'm just like, like, if I can find him, I can get back to that place in childhood. That's what I'm kind of.
Yeah. You're looking for something concrete to take you back.
Yes.
And Chico is concrete. He's an actual human being you can physically touch and talk to.
Yes.
And maybe talk about memories and talk about, everywhere I smell gas, I think of you now, and he's like, oh, word.
Facts.
I don't know if that's a compliment. I don't know. I'm trying to do I don't know if he has an accent. I'm just on. But anyway.
Here's something really random I want to bring up. A lot of people have said this to me, and I don't know if it's like a childhood sensory thing, but I've heard this mad times that I've heard people say they like the smell of gasoline, and I used to be one of those kids. Like, I remember, I don't think it had anything to do with association. I just used to, I remember telling my mom, be like, I love the smell of gas.
Yeah. No,
It's weird, but I love it.
There's a lot of people that love it. I'm not. If you coming out and saying that, maybe I can get you some help after the show. But I'm just saying. But a lot of people. If you're trying to wink, if you need some help, go in a private chat. No, sir. Let me just. But snuffing again, huffing. But I love it though. But I know a lot of people do have different smells. It could be a cake. It could be certain things. It could be wood dust from like an old stairwell that brings back childhood memories. So it could be good or bad, like you said. So
yeah, smells from childhood are like definitely like so distinct. Like you can be in a place 20 years later and just be like, oh my God, I feel like I'm back in my old house and it's my sister's perfume or something, that kind of thing.
Exactly. Yeah. Let's go to track 3, After These Messages. All right. So she wants the good times to last on this record. We receive a Chex mix flow of Miss Rhymes' childhood on this Terminator futuristic type track. After These Messages, you will become a fan, Miss Rhymes. Just a great another great record on the project. Where were you with this record, After These Messages?
Yeah, so After These Messages, if you remember, like from watching Saturday morning cartoons, it was that like I think it was on NBC or ABC, and they would, before they went to the commercial or they came back from the commercial, they would say After These Messages, that thing. So I was really excited to use it. Really excited to use it because like I just remember that feeling of being
that brings you back. That brings you back
right there. And it was fun when I did that song. If we're gonna go, we'll do the beginning and then we'll do the very end. You were talking about the last line, which is where I was like, sugar bowls on blast, why can't we make it last? So that also comes into, if you look at the cover of the album, obviously it's like an obsession with cereal, but I want to say that's also like kind of a 90s driven thing too. Like cereal isn't as popular as it used to be, but there was a time where cereal was very important, and it was very important to have with your cartoons in the morning. You had to have your sugar cereal.
You wasn't part of the society if you have a certain cereal.
The Sandlot was gonna disown you if you didn't have your bowl of sugar.
Sandlot, the schoolyard, whatever, it was going down. So, you had to hide that you had the Popeye cereal and you had to add 2 pounds of sugar to it. And you told them it was Sugar Smacks, but it wasn't.
Sometimes mom tricked you, like she said, yeah, you can have that cereal, honey. And then you think it's, gonna be sugary enough. And then it's just totally not. You got duped. So yeah, what I'm saying is the same thing. I'm like, why can't we make it last? That was at the end of the track. And I'm saying like, why can't we make childhood last? Why can't we make these vibes last where we're just our worries are not on the bullshit we have to think to day to day, paying bills, paying rent, being an adulting. It's no fun. And so like that whole song is just kind of like a mishmash of all that stuff. What did I say? It was the one where I was like, I'm just chilling in the Mega Man Palace. Dr. Light is right. That one? There was
I believe that was the one, because this was the short.
Sometimes you're gonna start me off in the beginning, the first 3 seconds of the beat, and I know exactly where.
You went right in, yep.
So just like back to the video game nostalgia and all that fun stuff, and that's one of my favorite. That is one of my favorite little songs though. Like it's for real. I like it's short. It's a short one. It's a shorty but a goodie one.
I like what Black Soul says. He says, I watch old recording commercials on YouTube because of the welcome back after these messages. He's crazy.
It like makes your heart sing. Like you're like, oh, I remember that.
He said Mega Man. Mega Man was a joint. The video game and a cartoon. Remember the cartoon?
Oh, I remember what was that? The one with this, it was like Super Mario Bros. It was like, okay, so there's Captain and the Game Master, if you remember that show. And that had all the mini cartoons of the Legend of Zelda. It had I'm pretty sure there was a Mega Man segment as well. And I love that. Oh my God, all day. I mean, anything that you could put more of my favorite video game characters into one place. Like,
listen, this album took me back to eating hot dogs and beans, Franks and beans at my grandmother's house with like all my cousins because like she had to buy the cheap stuff because it was like 20 cousins over there. You know what I'm saying? All the mothers and fathers dropped us off over there in the projects. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mega Man 3 was the best. Come on.
You have to chef it up, right? Like it might not be the best meal, but you chefed it up. Like my grandmother, I remember I didn't include this on the project anywhere, but we used to just be like, end of 2 weeks, we didn't have a lot of cold cuts or anything to put in the sandwich left. She'd be in charge of babysitting me, and we'd have mayonnaise sandwiches, legit. And like, I loved it.
Mayonnaise sandwiches. I had mayonnaise sandwiches. I had just sometimes I would have the block cheese with the and try to do a grilled cheese.
Yep. Yeah.
A pizza, do the sauce with the and you break up the block cheese and do a pizza in the oven. We used to do all types of stuff with bread.
You gotta make it like you just chef it up.
Oh man, we hooked it up, man. You know what I'm saying? Anything you can think of, man. We hooked that bad boy up, man.
But if an adult told you that it was pretty good and they ate it with you, you'd be like, oh my god, you're right, it is. It's delicious, and you'd just be. Yeah, that was everything. It was.
I ain't gonna lie, I don't eat mayonnaise like that no more. But I ain't gonna lie, I used to wreck some mayonnaise. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I didn't do any too. I met my quota for a lifetime.
And if you think about it, mayonnaise is like cocaine. You get the good stuff. The pure stuff was Miracle Whip and the Nanny brand. You know what I'm saying? That was the pure cocaine mayonnaise. You know what I'm saying? Let's get back to your album, right? Number 4. Is it Flying Goombas? Goombas? How you gonna say it? Goombas, right? Okay. Yeah. So on this one, I say Hech Rhymes is on a journey in Super Mario Brothers world, and she's dodging flying Goombas. Yep. Beat reflects the game as rhymes completes the game. I like this one, man. Flying Goombas, man. Talk about it.
Yeah. So talk about the beat first. The beat, the minute I heard that Evildoer beat, I was just like, first of all, I don't think anyone's going to use this one. No, not because it wasn't amazing, but because
who's the producer again? Because he did all these beats.
Evildoer, he's amazing.
Evildoer.
Yes, and the situation was, I just said to myself, this song, this beat is very busy. Let's start with that, just from like a rapping over it in the studio, situation. And as it is, what is it? Have you ever seen the movie A League of Their Own? And she's like, I only like the high ones. That's me. So with my voice, when I go to the studio, sometimes it is a challenge because if you have a very busy beat, I have a pipsqueak voice. So I have to like put on my big boy pants and like really like get like maybe a little more guttural.
Little bass.
I got a little bass. And so picking it probably wasn't necessarily in my best interest initially, but I love that freaking beat. And I heard video games. Like the minute I heard it, that's the most important part of this conversation. I heard a video game. Like I felt the video game. So I was like, I want to start doing my Nintendo thing now on this project.
Right away. You're like, yo, like,
let's I want to start name dropping Mario and
Mario's probably the most famous game ever. If you think of like what other game's more famous than Mario? Probably besides, the newer ones now that the kids are going crazy about, killer games and stuff that's, all in all. Do you still play video games?
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. I mean, I don't do it as much as I should because I get a little too excited. And then, how it is. You spend 5 hours and you're like, oh, I had shit to do today. And now I just used it on my console. No, I haven't. I tend not to play like the newer consoles, though. I do stick to like, the Nintendo stuff, and I have quite the collection that I built up actually over the pandemic. I started buying games from this website called DK Oldies. I think it's based in Philly, and they're one of the few like places that sell NES games, and you can get it with like I think a 60-day guarantee, which is incredible because they don't make the games anymore. So I got all these games that I just remembered growing up, like were rentals that I never actually like owned. So I have a whole bunch. I mean, I could go through the collection with you if you like anytime.
Well, what's your favorite
on air or off air? I have.
What's your favorite video game now? Like, what do you play a lot?
Well, I'm just gonna talk about a milestone. I beat Ninja Gaiden for the first time 2 weeks ago. Let me say that again for the people at home. I beat Ninja Gaiden 2 weeks ago. Okay, it took me 20 something years to get that going. It's a very difficult game. I mean, everyone knows that the final boss is the most ridiculous part because if you lose once, They don't take you back at the top of the level. They take you at the top of the board.
You got it.
And
LOL.
you
So they,
need
you got some video
the
game heads in
staying
there. Okay, they know.
you
All right.
sorry to interrupt. I was gonna say you need the staying power. You need to be ready to like devote an entire afternoon, potentially 48 hours to like get into this. So yeah, I was a glutton for punishment, and when I was a little younger, and now I'm just like, I don't know. But I finally did it. It might have been because of the Nintendo Switch that my roommate owns, because you can kind of like backtrack a little bit, but I don't care. I did it. So I'll work on beating it all the way through again at another time.
On one of the records, I should have noted it, but did you finally beat Contra?
Contra? No, not yet. I'm gonna beat Contra. I'm gonna work on it. I didn't yet.
Even with the cheat code?
No, I didn't try it with the cheat code. So my 7-year-old self lost it.
I can beat it. I like we started with the cheat code, and then like we got so good, I could beat it with 3 men.
Oh, okay.
That's how good we got, like on Contra.
So you have to get good. Eventually, you also just your skill set gets better.
Your skill set, yeah. It's
you just keep dying. You don't want to keep losing.
You know what I'm saying? Know where to land. You know what I'm saying? He's saying Contra was because he knew because Ben, you had the codes too. The up, down, left, right, BA, or whatever it was. Yeah, we had that. Yeah.
You need those sometimes. It's okay in life. We
use it. All right, let's talk about number 5, man. Castle Grayskull. Stop playing, man. I love He-Man. The He-Man cartoon Skeletor dark and evil track vibe has rhymes and her she-man aura. She has the power to rap, storytell, and entertain. This entire project reminds me of when I grew up, morning cartoons and heavy sugar-based cereals. Talk about number 5, Castle Grayskull, man. He-Man, one of my favorite cartoons, man. Let's talk about it.
I think that my lyrics on that one are like among my favorite, aside from maybe the last track on the album. But it's just because we start off and we're talking about, what is it? I put He-Man on layaway. After school foes took my money and it's pay to play. So I'm doing like a little wordplay on that because I'm also a rapper and I've been in situations where I've had to do pay to plays. So just throwing that out there. But anyways,
I like that. Yeah,
See what I did? So anyways,
flex your skills. Like I like when people flex their skills on the show. I'll be like, what? I'll be like this. Listening club. Remember that back in the day? Listening club.
But He-Man was amazing. And I was talking about the pandemic again. I got really into watching old He-Man episodes. And when I was a little kid, as a female, we also had there was a show called She-Ra. And yeah. And I mean, I don't know if a lot of boys watched it, but whatever. I was into it. And I have to say that comparatively, He-Man was very well written. And they had really good, I touched base with it and I said, morals and order. What did I say? It's basically talking about the morals of how you have to make a kid work for it. Like you're thinking when you write a show, a children's show, it isn't just about, hey, I'm just gonna make these cool cartoon characters and they're gonna be bouncing off the walls and they're gonna say funny, iconic stuff. It's also like they always had like a moral part of it, and that's what I also liked about the show and about, at least when I was growing up, a lot of shows have that. They still do. But I think that it comes from a special time. So when I say I'm a daughter at the end of the song, I'm a daughter of a time when shit was made cooler. I really take pride in that. I take pride of the time that I was brought up in, because I do think the cartoons were better. I'm sorry, I'm biased, but that's just how I feel. And that was kind of me just flexing on coming from that time frame, growing up in that time period. And then I also gave you a little MTV. I threw in the thing about Tabitha Sorn.
Yeah.
Turn on MTV, Tabitha Sorn looking sour. I remember that. I remember my sister, my brother trying to change the television, and I would lose it because I'll be like, it's my shows. And then we go to MTV, and then of course I loved MTV too, but it would be Tabitha Sorn would be on the, doing her really serious MTV news thing, and it was cool. I just remember those times, and I just feel like I was giving you the landscape of that time frame, depending on what channel you turn to. If you were watching cartoons, if you went to MTV, everything was cooler. That's how I feel.
No, that was dope. I know, I love that track, man. Relentless says, who was the blue guy in He-Man?
Blue guy,
And then
Skeletor. Oh yeah,
no,
I did talk about Skeletor too. Yeah, I did a lot.
Skeletor was purple, right? Is he blue?
I have him right here. If
Is
you
he
want to
blue and purple? Yeah,
bring him out,
bring
do you
him
want me
out.
to
Bring
bring
him
him on
out.
the show?
Bring
Okay,
Skeletor on the show. Yeah, let's go.
hold on a second.
So we got Man of Arms. Man of Arms was the dude or Oracle.
I don't. Hold on one second.
He-Man looking like Pretty Boy and strapped on. What the hell? Oh Lord, this dude capping on He-Man.
Uh-oh. I don't know what's going on. Okay, Skeletor is hiding, but I can tell you. Yeah, he's hiding. He's sleeping.
He's blue, right?
He is blue and purple. I have
blue and purple. Oh, blue. We got purple like gear
Yeah.
on and stuff. I think, right?
Oh, he has some crazy character that I can't quite recall. Are you talking about the guy with? I remember this action figure, his head turned.
Well, that's what my co-host said. Man of Arms was that
Man
guy.
of Arms. I think that's what I was thinking of.
Man of Arms. Man of Arms is that guy.
Why am I drawing a blank? The girl that just did like the telekinesis and she had the wings, the hawk.
Yeah, I can't remember. Like, Ben, name some of the characters, man. They had the character Faker too. Who's Faker? I don't remember. Faker was Faker.
I don't know. I think they had some like temporary characters too. Like they
had some that was in there once in a while, maybe in a couple episodes that didn't really show up again. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Great show.
No, it was. Just real quick before we go to number 6, man. I just want to let you know how much I love your album Lionheart.
Oh,
the album Lionheart is really, really good. I was sitting on it for a while and I kept listening to it, reviewing it and listening to it. Then I was like, I tried to get in touch with you and I was like, man, I want to review this album, but it's so bad. And I was just so impatient. I was like trying to, and then it's funny because I was like, I review this with her. Yeah. And I was like, it's so good. I got to put it out there and let the world know about it. So I released it. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, like, I think the next day you text me back. I was like, hey, what's up? And I'm like, oh man.
I know, sometimes like if it's a new person hitting you up in like a message, it goes to the back or whatever. And I don't know. I don't know.
It did that. It does that with me too.
It's me being like, or me not being internet savvy, and sorry about that. But I appreciate you checking it out, because the truth is about Lionheart was it got a little bit brushed under the rug because of the arrival of 2020. It kind of stunk. Like I was gonna do a release party for it, and then about a month later is when COVID-19 kind of took over and stuff. So it did kind of get a little bit pushed to the side. And the other thing was frustrating. Around the same time, I forget, what was it? The Master Ace show. There was a show at the Middle East and I was really excited. I was going to open for Master Ace and I'm a big fan. So I was just like, it was like 2 hits at once. Like, so first the show just got canceled and nobody really knew. We had a suspicion, but we didn't know if the world was going to shut down. Right. And then once it started happening, I was like, yeah, there's no way I'm going to be able to do this release party now. So, maybe it will be something I do a re-release of Lionheart in the future, because I'm super proud of it. It is. I think it's some of my best work, and there's some bangers on it. And shout out to Relentless again, because, yep, that's all his beats. He's really.
Listen, I gotta give it to both of y'all. You guys,
it's excellent. Yeah.
Sorry, but you guys were in your zone. I just want to give you guys your flowers on that album. I a lot of albums did get pushed under the rug around that time because the pandemic, and it's unfortunate. But yeah, I would re-release this album. I think it's one of your albums that's probably closest to what a lot of people want. A lot of people want that classic album. I'm not gonna say anything right now, but you gotta see my view. You look at the script, look at this description, and you see what I graded it. But it's a great project. Like if it's your Illmatic, I think it's your Illmatic.
It might be. I think
that's your Illmatic, and it's just like it's like you said, it got lost in the mix.
Yeah, it's well,
really good. It's really good.
Well, maybe it will be resurrected. Maybe obviously through your kindness of checking out the project and people checking out the reviews, maybe that will
hopefully
send a little more of a revival. But yeah, we'll see, and we'll see about maybe a re-release or something. But for now, I'm satisfied. I'm happy I made it. That's the
it's good. I'm glad it's out. It's out. It's there. You know what I mean?
It's there.
Fiscoid says the movie Lionheart was pretty good too in the 80s.
Hey, what up, Colin?
Going back, y'all can. Hey, everybody in the chat, go back. This is a back in the day podcast. Really, You know, we're talking about the album.
But you do know that the whole project was influenced by the Lionheart movie by Jean-Claude Van Damme movie from the.
You didn't say that at the beginning, girl.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, I didn't say that. But some of the quotes are in the project. I mean, you have to catch them if you have to be a really big fan. But I'm a huge Jean-Claude Van Damme fan.
Oh, with that same kick every time, I used to love that. The same kick, the roundhouse.
Oh, I mean, pick your movie. Which roundhouse from which movie? Because
that's what I'm saying. It was the last. All the movies, the same kick. You know what I'm saying? Like, I loved it. We loved it. We came back for the next one, right?
Mm-hmm. But I loved Lionheart because it was like, oh my god, it was just like the perfect like good versus evil story. It had something for everyone. There was like a cute little kid in it. He was trying to avenge his brother's death. He was trying to do right by his family. He swam to his family, found them on the other side of the country, started fight like, yo, it's like I'm such a snap. It's so perfect for someone like me. Like it literally influenced.
I like it, man. Everybody in the chat right now, like while we going over, we're about to go to number 6. Everybody in the chat that's listening right now, or listen to it in the near future, put some questions for us in the about the old school in the chat right now. Let's talk about number 6, man. Blockbuster Blues. Speaking of back in the day, Blockbuster. Is there any more left? But so the track is haunting.
Hold on a second. I don't want to interrupt you. There is a video store in Jamaica Plain I just found out about. I don't remember the name.
But it's not a Blockbuster in it's still up?
It's not a Blockbuster. It's like
oh, you mean like a mom and pop joint?
Yeah, it's like a coffee house and they do DVD rentals. So you can do it. You just I don't know I don't know where it is. But anyways, I'm gonna get there one day. Okay, sorry. Ask your question.
All right, so number 6 is Blockbuster Blues. The track is haunting and grimy like a villain beat. Beat is distorted and hypnotizing as Rhymes has like Blockbuster Blues, man. She just wants a good movie, man. You know what I'm saying? Blockbuster back in the day just brings back memories. This is dope that you bringing it up because this does resonate to the 80s and the 90s and those times. So talk about number 6, Blockbuster Blues.
Okay, so it's a song for the latchkey kids, right?
Okay.
Because if you hear the song, it's like I'm talking. You hear in the beginning, I'm like, hey, I'm going to Blockbuster to bring back my cousin Vinny, and no one's answers, right? And I'm like, okay, I'm leaving. And then I'm walking, I'm like, I'm going to the video store. Do you need aspirin? So it's it's a funny little track. It's obviously not really like a hip hop track, but it's just my little inclusion on the project.
It is a funny little track because it's not like a song, 3-4 minute song. No. It's like you like doing 3 verses or something. It's just like something quirky. And it's like I remember people saying, "I'm going to the store." You get like in the families of old where we grew up, you have to say, "Yo, I'm going to the store" to everybody. If you don't, if people find out you went to the store and you didn't tell nobody,
you didn't tell them, so you could go pick something up.
It was a problem.
It was important, yeah. And so that's kind of like what's going on. And then I get there, and then I find my movies, and then I'm talking about like the actors. I'm like, Keanu won't be there, Patricia Arquette won't be there. Gary Oldman won't be there. Matilda I'm talking about the people from The Professional, and then of course Patricia Arquette True Romance, one of my favorites. And and then I go, what did I say? And then I said, you'll be alone. Up, look in the sky. There's a drone. So it's kind of like playing on like a paranoia thing, combined with the whole I'm a latchkey kid. Okay, I'm going to the store, dropping off the that kind of stuff.
I was like, something's going on with this one. Like I was like, it's finished. Like some people go, they hear a song, go, was she experimenting? What was she doing with it? I said, no, that song's finished. I could tell. Like that's next track. And like I really scored this one. Like I was like, this is a nice record. Like it's a good record. Like it's not a skippable record. Let's talk about number 7. Ninja Gaiden versus Castlevania. That's a good verse. Very important. But production,
very important games for the youngins at home that don't know. You need to pick up those games and screw. What is it? What is that game with the first person shooter?
I don't play video games, so you're asking the wrong dude.
Anyways, any of those popular first person
shoot 'em up games, the shoot 'em up bang games.
Yeah, Why don't you forget that and play Ninja Gaiden and Castlevania?
All the adventure games were the best, like Zelda and all that stuff, and like Castlevania. The adventure games were the best, man. That you had to go on a mission and save somebody or something, or do something.
And you're fighting someone's really bad programming at the same time and blaming it on yourself as an 8-year-old kid.
Yeah.
Why can't I get it?
Exactly.
Anyways, yeah.
Right. So number 7. So number 7, Ninja Gaiden versus Castlevania. Production on some video game vibe as rhymes matches the beat with various video game references. All this reminds me of just my childhood, in video games and fighting over controllers and fighting over who's next and stuff like that. Talk about number 7, man. Like, first of all, who would you pick? What game would you pick? Ninja Gaiden versus Castlevania. You got to pick now.
Oh,
you didn't talk about the record itself.
I'm gonna have to go with Ninja Gaiden because I just love that game so much, and it's like the electricity in my fingertips knows that game so intimately that I don't think I know any game as good as I know that game, and I'm pretty good at it. But the boss at the end, I did it though. Anyways, having PTSD from that game. I really like it because I'm kind of like, I just remember being a kid too, and I'm gonna talk about video game commercials. Sometimes, like, I don't know, I remember they did like video game raps in commercials for like you remember? And I remember like it got me so much more excited about the game, and I felt like, they only did it for certain games, and I never got that opportunity for Ninja Gaiden or Castlevania, so I was gonna do it from me, like all
these that's dope. Oh, that's dope. That's dope. I like that. You put it in your own hands.
And I was gonna make it a little more adult, like adult themed, and also kind of related to myself. And then also I was gonna tell a story about Ryu and the Belmonts from, the Belmont dude from Castlevania. And I did, and I actually like gave it that same context that my 8-9-year-old self would have been really excited about, because there was never a rap song about Ninja Gaiden or Castlevania. There was about, I think, Zelda, and that game. Oh, that was
so. And I think they used the beat too, or some one of the rappers.
Maybe, yeah. They made it a
there's a lot of people that use like Donkey Kong, or certain games they use. I remember, if I can't remember the rappers, but they did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is my take on it, and it's kind of cool because it starts off as like Ryu running in the streets, defiant, and then he goes. It goes from there, and it just kind of tells you the story. But then it also touches base with my video game addiction as a kid, because I'm telling you the story of, like I said, the beef runs 25 years deep. I'm not talking about the characters versus the villain. I'm talking about me versus the game. I haven't, when I'm talking about I can't beat it.
Yeah,
that kind of thing. And then on top of it, I'm adding on, and I'm just saying, like, I haven't had a glass of water in 10 hours. Like, I've just been playing this game. I haven't eaten. I haven't drank water. That happened. Like, I used to just
we played video games to like 20 hours. Yeah, I remember
until your brain cells were just like fried and you had nothing left. And I remember one time I played this this is a long session for like 5 hours, and I remember like stepping up, and like I was like very young, but I was like, I think I'm having heart palpitations, and I have lava in my mouth, and so yeah. So video games were real for me, and I'm just talking about that sort of addiction going to the end, and just saying how that's when I get to the point about like, what did I say? The Contra line, right? I was like, and I can't beat Contra, and then it's and I can't sleep until tomorrow or the next day or the next meeting. Like, I'm never gonna get sleep because I've been playing this game for I have an obligation to finish this thing. So that's it. And I liked it too, by the way. Shout out to Evildoer again, because of that beat was cool. It worked out really well. Because not only did it set the stage for the song really well, but then at the end, when we have the trail off and you hear that static, it sounds like static. It reminded me of static on a television. So that's what I like. So then when I went to the end, when you hear that very last bit, it's going to be the another commercial from that time frame. And I actually just commercials. Might have even been from like He-Man or something that they were just like playing, you know, and like I just added that to the end of the track, and it was something like I not that I necessarily remembered, but I remembered that style of commercial.
100%. We're gonna get into the question and game portion. I'm gonna mix it up again, mix it up a bit. The first question I got first is: are you independent? Is this album independent? And would you ever sign a deal with a major?
I mean, yes, this is an independent project. And would I go on with a record company if I felt like it was going to, you know, be beneficial for what are they responsible for these days? First, we have to ask that question. They're responsible for paying for your music videos, which is great. It's responsible for putting you out there, right? The marketing is everything. Let's talk about that. And you know, you hopefully should get like a good percentage of your royalties and everything else. And if all the ducks lined up, yeah, sure, why not? I don't have an issue. I don't have an issue with getting paid. I don't have an issue with pushing my stuff out more. And I will say, as an artist that's independent, that's, you know, like underground, like doing all that work is challenging. It's not easy for me personally. Like I find that I have no problem with creating content. I just have a problem with having the energy left over to then push my stuff. So yeah. And we know that if you're not going to do it yourself, you have to pay someone. You know, you have to pay someone to help push the thing. And that's like, you know, that's another thing. It's just like, okay, well, like people that have more cake can do that. So exactly. On that note, yes, I would, yeah, sure. Why not? I would sign up.
Well, and a lot of
hopefully the art wouldn't get affected. That I'm concerned about that. Yes.
I was gonna say a lot of rappers are doing I'll give you an example, like Benny the Butcher. They're doing, you know, partner deals, like one album deals, and then they go back to like, you know, doing their independent, you know, independence in a sense. Yeah, because that's a lot of people doing that. I mean, you can do a smart deal like that.
Yeah. It's like a single, like a small contract.
For one album deal. You know, you got your stuff that you know, say you got the 4 albums, all of a sudden your next album's on Def Jam, right? And then you just do the 1 album deal, then the next album you guys, you just, you know what I'm saying? You just got that, you just got a boost in a sense. And now you just, the next album, your 6th album is you again, you know, on your label. So yeah.
I'm sure that if it was shorter term, it would be even better. For sure.
Yeah, exactly. Oh snap! But I was just talking about him earlier. The artist Taj Malik is in the building. The one that the album I was talking about earlier. Yeah. I was just talking about your album earlier, Taj. I just told him your EP came out, man. So salute.
Congratulations.
Yeah, exactly. My other fun question is, you know, do you believe, you know, breakfast is important, and what are your top 5 cereals?
Oh boy. Well, okay. So it was like almost 2 separate questions.
Well, do you believe breakfast is important? And
is cereal important? Is breakfast
cereal? Yeah.
Breakfast is important. Is cereal important? That's the question. I don't know for the breakfast portion. I think cereal is still delicious and fun. So of course I'm about it. Top 5 cereals. Whoa, this is like the hardest question ever. Okay. I'm going to start with this weird one that I had as a kid, but I used to cover it in sugar, but I still liked it. It was the corn Chex, just the plain corn Chex.
This album's called Corn Chex. I'm not corn Chex. It's called Childhood Chex Mix. So it's like, I would think one of those is your favorite.
Oh, that's what I meant. I was
Chex Mix is one of your favorites.
I'm being a joker. I'm making a joke like I just came to the revelation that's why. No, yes, the corn Chex 100% or my personal favorite. And you're right. But honestly, I didn't even like think of it that way. When I thought of Childhood Chex Mix, the reason I chose that name was because it just sounded like the alliteration made sense. You feel me? Like going Childhood Chex Mix.
Combination.
And it was good because I wanted to do the cereal theme. And part of that, sorry to go back to Ninja Turtles real quick. That's going to be my number 2 cereal. We'll keep it relevant here. Number 2 cereal would be whatever that fucking Ninja Turtle cereal was that came with the little Raphael bowl back in the day. Do you remember that?
I think with the straw, was it Ninja Turtle cereal, or you
Yeah,
mean it was
it was
something
a Ninja
special?
Turtle cereal. I don't know what company made it. Maybe it was Kellogg's. Maybe it was one of
Yeah,
the
they did make a
General
Ninja
Mills.
Turtle cereal. Yeah.
And it always came with a little Ninja Turtle bowl. And I remember like practically screaming at the store. I mean, like, Mom! Ah! And I remember the cereal was terrible. But I still give it number 2 because
What?
that bowl was
Is it
everything.
a bowl? The bowl.
I loved that
That
Ninja.
bowl was special to you.
Okay, so that was number 2. The what do we say? Chex.
Chex.
Essentially, it's corn.
Yep.
It's called corn Chex is the one I like because I like to
Corn Chex,
sweet it.
yeah.
And then it was the Ninja Turtle cereal, whatever it was made of, marshmallow cereal.
I didn't know what that
Oh,
was.
I messed up. Cocoa Puffs.
Cocoa Puffs. Okay, that's a good
Cocoa
one.
Puffs were really important to me. I love Cocoa Puffs. And occasionally my mom would let me have Count Dracula, and I did like Count Dracula. I did.
Count Dracula. That was real. That was too chocolatey for me.
Yeah, I mean, it was intense. It was meant to be intense, I think. And then the last one, maybe I'll just say Tricks because Tricks were for kids and they were great. Yeah, Tricks.
Yeah.
It wasn't like amazing. Like I remember I used to want.
So you didn't have a lot of sugary cereals. So you.
Yeah, like it's weird. I ordered them kind of
good.
backwards because I wasn't allowed to have the latter grouping as much. But I also really enjoyed the corn Chex. I don't know. They're not the same as regular Chex. They're sweet because of the corn. And
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. It's
you
not,
know
they're
what I
not
mean?
bad. Frank's saying the same thing, man. He's saying
He agrees. Thank you. Thank you for agreeing, Frank.
Now you're a boxing fan, right?
Big time, yes.
Okay, so give me
I
the
used
best.
to be a fighter. I competed for years. I was a Golden Gloves champ.
I was just about to ask you all that. You're answering
You're
for me.
Team Brockton.
Well, now I am. I used to live in Roxbury, Dorchester area. So I've been in Brockton for 3 years. So the question is, and you can answer 2-part question. So basically, I think 3-part question. So best boxing era. Give me your top 5 boxers, and then I know you box, so I wanted to know if you actually boxed in matches. So
yeah, I just told you I was a Golden Gloves
yeah,
champ.
I know I was wanted to get my questions out before you.
Oh, my bad. I ruined it. I did it out of order. Okay, well, rewind.
No, just go ahead. Don't worry about it.
Okay, so favorite era for is easy, just like hip hop, the 90s.
Yeah, okay.
I'm a big James Toney fan. We know that because of my track, James Toney. He's a big deal for me. Pernell Whitaker. I really like Pernell Whitaker. I am a Canelo fan. We'll throw him on the bunching. I also love Bernard Hopkins.
Ooh.
And I'm gonna say, we forgot the most important guy of all, Mike Tyson.
Yeah. What do you think about him fighting soon?
Ugh, that guy Jake Paul needs to go home. I don't like him. I just think this is my issue. Why are you gonna give that guy all that money? He already has money. He's not a real boxer. Everyone that respects the sport of boxing does not respect what he does, what he brings to the table. He's a clown. And I'm sorry, like I say that as someone who competed and like I'm a pugilist, man. Like I can't respect that. I can't respect it. Did I agree with? Well, anyways, we're not gonna get into other politics of stuff like that.
You don't have to. You don't get into too much because we want to have fun. But but when you did box, so like you boxed and Matt, like explain that a little bit. Give us some more details, like because we don't like that people that don't know boxing act like this is the yellow book, man.
Sure. I had quite a long history with boxing. I did it I've been doing it on and off since like 2002. So it's been a long journey. I won the Golden Gloves in 2004. I was young and I had a lot of I was one of what you call I would call, hey, James Toney. I would be called a gym warrior. Like I want to say a gym warrior. Is that what I'm trying to say? So someone that like did a lot of sparring, had some pretty like really amazing experiences in side of the gym, but because of the time frame, because there were less females, and there really weren't at the time, that were like, for my weight class, I was a junior welterweight. It was tough. There was a time, one time I remember one year I went to the Golden Gloves. I fought the same girl twice in 2 weeks, and it was just weird. Like, I didn't understand why they called me back, but I'm left to guess that they didn't have anyone else for her. And so they sent me back to do it again or something. But that's the type of state that it was in. So a lot of my really best, situations were, number one, there really weren't other females to even compete or to spar with. So I worked with the people in the gym, the guys. And yeah, like I had some wars in there, but I did really well. And unfortunately, those were not recorded and they're not sanctioned bouts, but there was a lot of growing in that space. And that's why I love boxing so much. I think that boxing definitely made me like strong enough to be able to do something like hip hop, which, I mean, it takes a lot of gall. I'm just going to say it, like, I think that it's just like many things you can learn. Anyone can learn, right? You can sit there and work and work and work and get it. But I think it definitely requires like a certain type of person to be able to get up there. And I also think that, like I said, boxing helped mold me into like doing some of the things that I might not have ever been able to do without it. Without boxing, I would be a completely different person. So I just salute to the sport of boxing. I'm a very, very big fan.
I was gonna say that boxing gives you, discipline. It gives you a lot of, morals. It gives you patience. It does a lot more than just hitting somebody, hitting the bag type of thing. It's it's a lot. Boxing is more than what people think it is. It's a blood sport, right?
Yeah, definitely. And it's like you form, you forge who you are. You really, the highest point in yourself, the highest, I don't know how to say it. You become something different. You've really become like tempered into like the best version of yourself from doing it. And it's discipline, but it's a lot of humility, a lot of, not having good days. And so every boxer that's listening or you understand what it is. It's a big sacrifice. That's the main thing, is like, I would say that 90% of my peers at the time when I was competing, they'd be going out every night, they'd be partying, they'd be enjoying their 20s, their, teens. And I was definitely not doing that. I was definitely like in a basement somewhere training.
That's dope, man. I mean,
so
you still practice it. You still kind of in shape with the boxing, but
Yeah, no, I'm definitely, I consider myself a pretty in shape person. I haven't been as active. Somerville Boxing was the place where I was at for many years, and rest in peace. I assume that they're still doing their thing. They still have a group of people. The place where we were at in Somerville on Otis Street got taken because I guess it's part of the school system or something, and I don't know, whatever. So since that happened, I haven't been as active, but I'm still, anytime I see a bag, I have to hit it.
Oh, that's dope, man. I like it, man. It's what they say, the book don't always match the inner covers, man. Like I wouldn't think you were a boxer if I just saw you walking down the street,
The nose isn't over here.
Speaking of
head movement, I was pretty good with my defense. So
I bet you were, man. And congratulations. I'm scared of you, man. Now, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I gotta bow down and watch my words, everything I say.
Stay gold, pony boy. Hit someone.
Stay gold, pony boy. Yeah, I love that movie. The Outsiders.
Yeah, in the comments, it said stay golden. So
he said stay golden. Yeah. This I love Frank. Frank's
there it is.
This is my goal, man. But speaking of boxing, let's talk about some verses. Let's talk about Kendrick versus J. Cole.
Oh yeah, that whole thing going on.
What do you think?
It's really tough because I like the shit out of J. Cole. I don't know. That's a tough one. I like Kendrick. If I had to tip to one side, I might pick J. Cole because I just personally identify with him a little bit more in terms of his cadence and his delivery and things like that. I'm not tooting my own horn. I'm just saying, like, I really,
that's
the type of stuff that I aspire to do with the wordplay and stuff like that. Kendrick has that also, but I think it's just the style. It's just J. Cole is a little more up my alley personally. So
Nah, toot your own horn, man. Toot, man. You know what I'm saying? How about No Vaseline versus Ether? You got the Ice Cube disc record versus the Nas disc record.
I think that anything Nas puts his hands on, I'm just gonna say I'm not worthy and walk away. That's my answer.
Nas, yo, that's about one of my favorite rappers. So I mean, till this day, he's still going strong, and he's incredible.
Putting out projects recently, very recently, like
6 albums in 5 years or 4 years or something like that.
Crazy,
something like that. It's ridiculous. It's crazy. What about cartoons? What are your top 5 cartoons back in the day? What can you go without? What's going on? Give me some cartoons.
Ninja Turtles, number 1. It might be number 2 and number 3.
Okay.
But I also liked
it's Ninja Turtles.
Okay, Ninja Turtles. I liked Ren and Stimpy.
Ren and Stimpy. Ooh, good one.
Oh, that was the gold.
Ren and Stimpy. You got
comedy gold.
Are they still? And it back on? I think it's back on with new episodes. I think somewhere.
Hopefully, I hope so. Super random, by the way, while we're on the topic of Nickelodeon, you know that little guy on Instagram? He's not a guy, he's a puppet, he's called Tiny Chef. He's a plant-based like little chef. He got approved to go on Nickelodeon. I guess he's gonna have his own show now. I'm just excited for him. He's so cute.
No, promote whenever you can. I don't know who he is, but okay, maybe
I'll put you on after the show.
Hey, thank you. I'm like, what are you talking about?
He's just so cool. I like it brings talking about childhood stuff. It brings me back to those like little figurines and Sesame Street, like the can't tell it. How did the guy go? Can't tell us something by his size. I'm just a little super guy. He's like that, but he's just like a little puppet. Anyways, before I embarrass myself, I'll send it to you later.
I love your energy. I love your energy.
Anyways,
no, I love your energy, man. Keep it going. Speaking of Ninja Turtles. Well, you didn't mention you only did 2 cartoons.
Oh, I didn't get. Yeah, I was just gonna say 3. It's gonna be really random and weird. It's either gonna be like. Maybe can it be? It has to be from childhood cartoons.
No, just cartoons in general. It could be something that came out yesterday. I don't know.
I mean, The Simpsons. I don't know if that's adult cartooning too much, but I really
Simpsons. That's
boring. Is it a boring answer because everyone already is?
Simpsons. No, that's a dude. Listen,
it's a great answer.
That's a legendary. Matter of fact. Simpsons, you got to throw some shots to the Simpsons, man. But I'm just saying, it's a legendary cartoon. Why not pick it? That's 3, right?
Okay. Yeah, I guess that's 3. I was gonna also say maybe like Doug or something.
Doug.
I liked Rocko's Modern Life. Rocko's Modern Life.
That's number 5. I don't know what that one is.
Okay, well, we'll put you. I'm gonna put you on for that.
Put me on. Listen, you put me on to new music. Put me on the new producers, new cartoons. This is what it's about, man. This is the connection right here. Yep. Now, see, I thought you liked these. This is why I put these together verses. I put Ninja Turtles versus He-Man. I thought He-Man was gonna be one of your cartoons you loved.
I almost said He-Man, but then I don't know. I got into I don't know.
So you're going to say Ninja Turtles versus He-Man. You're going to say Ninja Turtles.
Oh, no. Well, the Ninja Turtles have to be number 1. And if I had to kick one out, it would probably be The Simpsons and put He-Man because we're going to stick to the theme of childhood. There we go. Yeah. It has been said. It's been decided.
Going to I don't know if you're a Celtics fan, but what do you and what do you think they're going to do this year?
The Celtics, they're always to me they're on their way to a championship every single time. I don't care what they're even doing right now. They're going to win. We're going to get it. We're going to get
you like all 4 teams?
Nope, just the Celtics. I'm that diehard.
No. I only asked that because, I thought you were, because as soon as you went in on the Celtics, I'm like, oh, she like all the teams. I'm only a Red Sox and Bruins fan.
Okay.
I grew up a Lakers fan, and
that's my boxing coach. He used to always say he hated the Celtics. Sorry, coach. And he loved the Lakers. It was weird. And then he didn't like the Patriots.
I don't like the Patriots either. I like the Giants.
Cowboys for him.
He likes I like the Giants. Nah, Giants, man. Because Giants was the first New England team, and I grew up with my uncles. My uncles was like the influencing me on what I liked in a sense. So I was the Giants, the Lakers, the
Okay.
Bruins, and the Red Sox. And that's what I've been, marching with ever since I was young, back in the day. You know what I'm
Shout
saying?
out to my friend Christina in LA because yeah, I sent her a Lakers jacket because long story short, I purchased a jacket from this urban apparel company and it was purple and it said something about champs. And I just didn't look at the picture and it was a cool looking satin jacket. So I just ordered it and then it arrived and I was like, oh no. So I messaged her. I go, "Are you a Lakers fan?" And she's like, "I was born a Lakers fan." I was like, "Great, getting this thing off of my doorstep." Anyways, I just what it is. I mean, it's not any diss to the Lakers. It's just as a Celtics fan, we can't be having that.
Hey, we got more Lakers haters in the building. Relentless says something. He said, Giants. Oh, he says Lakers. First of all, you say Lakers are whack. Sorry, homie. Cowboys trash too.
Coach Kyle is gonna have words.
Popular team back in the day. Kobe, forever. I know where Kobe came up. We didn't even bring up Kobe, but Kobe just came up.
Great. Kobe is deserved.
I know. I'm just saying, R.I.P. to Kobe.
He deserves a plate at the table in all conversation.
Kobe's my favorite player. So I mean, Ben, no, he's just bringing up Kobe so I can start talking about him or something. I don't know. MC Light versus Raw Digger.
Oh, whoa. I love Raw Digger. I think I'm gonna go with Raw Digger.
Raw Digger, dude.
Sorry,
Raw Digger was she was just in Boston. I saw her in Boston. Really? Yeah, took a picture with her and everything. I gave her. She's in one of my books, and I gave her the book for free. I said, "Yo, you in one of my you chapter? I think she was like chapter 13 in my first book or my second book. I don't know if she's in this one or she's in the second one. She's the first one. This is the second one. But so cool. She's in one of my books. I gave it to her. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Raw Digger.
Cool. I bet she was rad to talk to.
She was. We was chopping it for like 5 minutes. People were like, "Oh, look at her in line." I'm like, bug it out with her.
That's cool.
Smith and Wesson versus MOP.
Oh boy, I have a little bit of. I went to Europe and I got to open for Smith and Wesson.
What?
And I opened for them here too. So
I saw that. That's why I put them in there. What do you think?
I'm gonna say Smith and Wesson because I just
talk about them. Talk about Smith and Wesson.
I'm gonna talk about Smith and Wesson. You know when phones had what do they call them?
Lip?
No, well, around that time also what do they call the ringtones? We had the
ringtones. Yeah, when it was popular. Yeah.
I had a Smith and Wesson ringtone.
Oh, you had it? You had a Smith and Wesson?
Smith and Wesson ringtone.
Who can't click, man? Oh, they over there. Oh, they in there battling, talking trash and the thing. So I saw also that. Are you a vegetarian?
I am a vegan, even. Yeah.
Vegan. So vegan's more stronger. So like, is that like you're not wearing fur, you're not wearing leather? Is that how far you go?
Yeah. So I'm gonna say the only thing that I have is my boxing gloves, and that's just because
that's what it is. Right?
It's hard. It's like I'm gonna tell you that I haven't really found a boxing glove company that's very good with non-leather gloves, and I hate to say that as a vegan, but that's one of the only challenges I have. But everything else is 100% vegan. Everything I eat, everything has been that way for 20 years. So that's the only.
Yeah, that's great. How'd you get to that? How'd you get to this notion? Like, because a lot of people have wake up calls, and I think that's a good thing to talk about.
Yep. I remember being in high school and things were a little crazy, and I remember stuff at home was kind of not going well, and I remember that I had seen some videos about like animal exploitation, and it was upsetting for me, and I always was a big animal lover. I've always been I gravitate towards dogs on the street. I'm very animal person. Most people that know me know that. And after some transitions, I said, you know what? I can't control the situation. Can't control what's going on in my life right now, but I can control certain things. I can control what I eat, and I can control how I participate in things. And that was what happened. It was a combination of watching getting literature about it and seeing videos that were not very positive, and just being upset about it and being like, you know what, if I don't agree with that, then I should do something about it. I shouldn't just be someone who's going to say they're upset about something and then they just sit back and they're what we call slacktivists, people that just don't, you want to complain about an issue, but you don't want to do anything to help the situation. So I knew that I had to do that. And it felt good. It felt good to take control of, what was, just my life, just taking control of what you eat can affect your life. And that was just where it started. And I was vegan ever since.
I love it, man. I'm not vegan, but I've been I don't eat pork anymore. It's been a while. I make chicken or any other meats. Once in a while, I dabble with the plant-based type of stuff once in a while.
Yep.
I try to keep with the vegetables and the fruits.
Yay.
I can't wait to get some land so I can actually grow and control my own food and stuff like that. So when I saw that you was vegan or vegetarian, I was like excited to talk about it.
Cool. Yeah, no, I love to cook. I'm not really a person who's big on talking about the politics of being a vegan. I feel like it's off-putting for people sometimes, but my way of helping, or my way of showing people, is I just like to cook for them. And if I show them that, hey, the food's really good and you can eat plant-based and have a really good experience and it can be really tasty and really healthy, you won't think about it the same way. Maybe people have certain, like, I don't know. I think when people hear the word, it just sounds very like intense.
You know what it is? They treat us like what's it called? Jehovah's Witnesses.
Villains.
Jehovah's Witnesses. No, but they treat vegetarians like Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yeah.
They say, "Oh, you vegan? Oh, like oh no, they're gonna try to change me."
Back up 6 feet. That's like, yeah, like I'm saying, like what you're saying, like you feel like
she's gonna change. No,
yeah. And see, that's why I take on a completely different approach, which is it borders on, some people might say, oh, you're just like, you fell out of being an activist or whatever. I just don't. I'm trying to not make it a confrontation for people. I just want it to be a pleasant, positive experience. And then if you get to taste good food, then you're not thinking of it in any particular compartmentalized way of this has a label. It's just, I'm just eating and I'm just enjoying the food and I'm having healthy food that happens to be plant-based and packed with nutrients, and you feel good and you just feel better. I mean, also, as someone who deals with seasonal depression for sure and things like that, and occasional mental health issues with just managing anxiety and stress, I will say that, like, if you eat better, you will feel better. So I've been lucky that I already kind of had a good base for a good nutrition plan in the beginning when I went vegan. And then as I progressed on my health and fitness journey, that just made it I just got better at it. And I got better at like getting the macros. And when when everything's aligned, you really do feel better. So, and that's good news and information for anyone at home who deals with anxiety or issues, or they're just going through something. If you eat well and you eat light and you're good to your temple, you will feel better. If you eat like shit and you're, not treating your body well, it's not going to make the situation better. There you go.
That is not the sound I was trying to get. I was trying to do this, but no, that was dope. No, I get what you're saying, man. Like, eating healthy is the way to go. It's the way to do it, man. And shout out to Frank. I know Frank. Do you eat good? He's probably just, what's going on? Got to eat good. All right, Frank. What you eat? What's your diet? Now, Frank looked like he's in shape, man.
Good. That means that you're taking care of your temple. That's good.
One of your other albums, The Middleweight, the song No Fugs off the album The Middleweight, featuring Relentless and Organismic is so incredible.
Thank you. We got a little clout from that song from a Paris radio station. It was pretty cool.
Also, Bling Believer featuring Spoda.
Yeah. Yep.
Also, Het TKO, so soulful. Love that joint TKO. And then Poems was so dope. That album's dope too, man. Just a great project. I just want to mention that album too. So middleweight, what does that album mean to you?
Oh, it's my favorite division in boxing of all time.
Okay.
All my favorite people have pretty much been in the middleweight division at least once or whatever. I also like the welterweight division a lot, but I just think of when I think of the greats, across the timeline, like I was mentioning my favorite boxers and like, Roy Jones, and you got James Toney, and you got, well, I said him earlier too, Canelo as a middleweight, I really respect. There's so many. I mean, we could go on for a long time, but I think it's my favorite, most competitive division, because they say that when you fight a middleweight, you're fighting someone with the speed of a lightweight, but the power of potentially a heavyweight. And that's what makes it such a great weight division in boxing.
It's more action packed, because anything can happen.
Before you start to go up to, cruiserweight, light, heavyweight, that stuff, you're going to start to see, the speed, the little bit of a decline in speed most of the time, or you have to pick one or the other. But with middleweights, you usually get what you signed up for. It's a great division.
No, I love it. I love your answer. I see that you get your travel on too. How many passport stamps are you sitting on? And talk about how much traveling is important to people. It's important. Don't you think?
It's important. I
just passport stamps, man.
Yeah, I went to a bunch of places. I had a really tough year last year, and I just said, if I don't go, I'm not gonna heal. And so I made it a priority, the same way someone might make a priority to go get like a medication. Like I was like, you have to go deal with this. And if you don't do things and try to mix up your time as much as possible, then it gets self-destructive. So you got to go do something about it. And that's what I did. So I just decided I was going to go to a bunch of places, and then it was kind of cool. It was some solo traveling, and I went to Antigua. I met some great people. Shout out to my peeps in Antigua, Mitchell, if he's watching. And then from there, I met some people that were in Jamaica. They were from here, but they traveled to Jamaica. And I just kind of went on like a little Caribbean kind of, little spin around the world. And it was good. It was good. It was helpful. Spent a lot of my deep savings, but I, got to do that. And many, many years ago, when I had like a major kind of like traumatic thing that had happened, I remember I pieced out. I literally like collected cans to go on a trip to Thailand, and I just pieced out for like 6 or 7 months. And I have to say that traveling really does heal people if you need a new perspective. Sometimes I understand, like you can say, hey, I'm going to clean my room, or I'm going to relocate in the city. Sometimes you just need to just reset in a different place that has nothing to do with your day to day. And like I said, it's very helpful meeting different people, trying different foods. It can help you get your confidence back. It can help you for so many reasons. So if you can afford it, and there's lots of
course,
obstacles with that, and you got to have a little bit of savings maybe to be able to do stuff like that. But you can also just save money and like just make it a priority. And that's just anything in life, right? We have to make it a priority. If you want to do something, you can do it, but you have to make sacrifices, and you can get there. And not everyone can go on sabbatical for multiple times in a year, but even if you get one time a year, that's beautiful. You got to go and sit on a beach and drink a daiquiri and just not think about things that might be very intense and harrowing for you.
It's funny, you speaking of drinks, it's like it's organic. I got two verses. Those are the last ones. Mojitos versus martinis.
Mojitos. Yeah. I like mojitos a lot. They're good.
Manhattans versus margaritas.
Manhattan. I love Manhattans.
That was quick.
But I do like margaritas. Margaritas just make you like, ooh, like the next day. Like, I don't know. I think a Manhattan is just like a qualified adult drink that you just kick back and you're like, it's good. It puts some hair on your chest.
Actually, I got one more fun one. I don't know if you remember these two commercials, but one was, where's the beef? and the other commercial is
Ooh.
that's
I
so
remember.
you got Wendy's and Budweiser.
Yes, and Little John. That was
No,
Little John.
I don't. Well, I think Little John didn't start the was. Or did he?
No, you're right. It's not him. I'm
I think
thinking
he did a commercial eventually.
the
with
Pepsi
What's
commercial.
Up? I
Sorry.
think, but no, he might have did a Budweiser commercial eventually, but like it started with like some other What's Up type of, I don't know, whatever thing.
Yeah.
I don't know, movement, whatever it was.
Yes, but I pick whatever I said last, which was I think a Manhattan. Anyway, sorry, we went off topic.
Oh no, I was saying the last one was the
beef. Oh, that was the beef one. I don't know.
The beef in What's Up commercial for Budweiser.
I think I remember the Where's the Beef a little more. I remember Molly McButter. That's old. That's like I was a toddler. Do you remember Molly McButter?
No, who's that? You schooling me on a lot of stuff I'm like missing out on or something. What am I forgetting? What channels were you watching?
It went like Molly McButter. And it was like, it sounds kind of Southern or something, but it's basically butter that they put in a sprinkle form. This was very sprinkle it on your food. It was weird. It was weird.
No, I never had that. I ain't gonna lie, man. Yo, shout out to that. I never had that. He said
Molly McButter.
Wait a minute. Yep, Molly McButter. I remember. He remembered.
Whoa. And the shake and bake. It's shake and bake, and I helped.
Shout out to Molly.
Molly.
All right, Queen, man. It's the end of the show, man. I really appreciate you coming on the show, man. And this was a blessing. I had a fun conversation. This is not going to be your first time on the show. I really had a good time, and I think your music is going to reflect on a lot of people. Do you plan on making new music? And let us know what's going on in the near future. Promote, and also say something positive at the end if you don't mind.
Sure. So first, to address what you said, there is new music coming. I've been in the studio.
Yes.
That's to be continued. ... Okay. And then you asked me to say something positive, and I'm gonna say, I'll just give you a quote that I really liked. I've been telling people lately. The trauma is not your fault, but the healing is your responsibility. Let me do that again.
No, I like that. I got it. Right now, I got it. You can say it again. Yeah, say it again. Let's give it some shots. Say it again. We're gonna give it some shots after that.
Sure. The trauma is not your fault. The healing is your responsibility. And to me, that means that we are all dealt different situations in life, and things are hard, and we go through it. And it can be very challenging to work through that. But at the end of the day, you set time aside for the grieving. You set aside time for whatever you had to deal with in regards to that. But in order to grow and to get to the next level and to evolve, it's our responsibility to heal. Like, we can't just be like running around and be like, my mom or my, whatever childhood made me this way, or that teacher from the 7th grade. We have to evolve. We have to get past these traumas. Whatever the situation was. And then, that's how you stay your best self, and, self-care and all that fun stuff. I'm about all that stuff. So yeah.
No, 100%. Appreciate it. Shots fired, man, for that. No, for real, man. It's some good information. And I think, this conversation, we talked about health. We talked about mental health. We talked about physical health. We talked about all the essentials. And,
Ninja Turtles.
Talk about Ninja Turtles, which is important. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, I like to incorporate, and if you watch a lot of my interviews and reviews, when I have people, I incorporate that stuff without them knowing. You know what I'm saying? I want them to we're people at the end of the day. We're human at the end of the day, and I want people to just not think, hey, she's an artist, I gotta bow down and kiss her butt. Like, no, she's human too. She goes on vacation. She drinks mojitos or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, say. So I want people to tune in and get I guess more involved with their artists, because that's when actually we support y'all more. We're gonna throw more dollars towards y'all way, so you can have more vacations. You know what I'm saying? You share a lot of personal information in your rhymes and stuff like that. But I'm excited that you're still rapping, that you're still gonna rap. And I don't know who you're gonna be working with, but hopefully you work with similar producers, other producers as well, because you want to broaden your game and your horizon on and challenge your vocals, because your vocals is a instrument themselves. You know what I'm saying? So challenge your vocals with different producers, and let me know. I know a couple. So, but yeah, man.
My people will call your people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Hollywood. Yeah. I don't do that. I actually connect with like 3 producers right now. But I don't play that. But we coming back from Cambridge, man. We back in Boston, man, back in Brockton, actually. And I really enjoyed this conversation. I think we'll have further conversations. I want people to tap into your discography and really tap into who you are as a person. And I'm pretty sure they're gonna get a good gist of it watching this interview review / conversation. Again, this is the THHC podcast, which stands for the Hip Hop Connoisseur Podcast, and this is episode 189. Hech Rhymes. Am I saying
Hech
Rhymes? Hech Rhymes. Hech Rhymes. Salad mix.
It's all good.
Chex mix, man. I ain't gonna lie. I'll be chopping up names. My sister be like, "Why you messing up all their names under them?" I'm like, that's just me. I mess them up. What they gotta do? Beat me up? Maybe they might. I don't know.
Your sister's a fan?
I don't know. Sometimes she might be a fan of my podcast once in a while. She'll look on there to see what I'm doing.
That's
I guess.
cool.
I don't know. But
that's nice. That's nice to have family involved.
No, my mom's does too. Some people do.
That's what's up. Cool.
Yeah.
Shout out to your mom and your sis. Woo woo.
Frank said he loved the interview, and he says, respect to you. Frank's the man. He comes on once in a while when he wants to. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
He's not like he's like I'm forcing him on the show. I force him on the show. I forced him to be my co-host. This is a long story. So, but he came on the show at least 6 times. Like we have fun in the chat and all that. But yeah, man.
In the Eric Andre show, he's Hannibal that shows up and sits there with you.
Yeah, and just stays quiet.
He's just standing. He's in the chair.
That's exactly. So I'll be trying to get him on, to break down albums or but he's like a superhero. The last 2 times he was on, he picked albums and we was reviewing and breaking them down. One time he was saving people from a fire or something, burning building. The other time he had to leave early. The other time he was like saving animals from the highway or something.
Cool.
Hey, he's like, I'm gonna be late. I can't make it because I'm saving an animal. I don't know what we was doing. I don't know, man.
There's a tortoise in the middle of the highway. You better get out of the car and take that tortoise to safety. All you viewers at home, I'm holding you responsible.
Frank's a superhero, man. I don't know, man, but he's my co-host that I kidnapped.
Bye,
No Diddy though. No Diddy. I didn't kidnap him that way. No Diddy. All right. So let's get out of here, man. It's getting late, man. Again, thanks for coming on the show. I appreciate it, man. What I usually say is love over hate. Practice more love than hate. Get that passive income. Get the bag. Own your masters. Own your whatever. I'm trying to think of all your whatever. Your rights and whatever. Own your stuff. Own your music.
It's important.
It's important.
BMI is a pain as a website, but it's important.
No, it's important. So especially with all this new stuff coming up and AI and all that. So I didn't want to get into it. We'll get into it some other time. I ask you about AI some other time because I know that's a huge subject nowadays, and we'll get back to it. So, all right, guys, we're getting out of here, man. From Brockton to Cambridge, man. Peace out. All right, y'all. One love, man. Be out.
Bye.
Bye.